Good morning, dears. This is Pratibha Bojkar, lecturer in English, Giriraj Government College, Nizamabad. So, in the earlier class, we were talking about the lesson The Gift of Magi, written by O. Henry. As you all know, in the what do we call earlier class, we learned that Della she could not be without presenting a gift to her Jim. So she went outside, sold the hair, bought a very beautiful present, and she haunted for hours. She hunted for hours together, and she bought a gift which was made of platinum, a fob chain made of platinum, to her Jim. And now when Jim entered into the room, she was very what do you call curious that will Jim accept me or not in this way, because in the starting of the class, what do we call, in the earlier class, in starting of the slide I said there are two things which Jim gonna feel possessiveness. One is what do you call, the watch presented given by the grandpa to papa and then to him, and next the hair of Della. And here Della has sold her hair to bring gift to the present a gift to Jim. And now when Jim enters into the room, she don't know how he gonna react when he gonna know that Della has sold her hair to present a beautiful present to him. What might be the reaction? We're gonna learn in the next slide. Okay. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor disapproval, nor horror, nor any of the sentiments that she had been prepared for. He simply stared at her fixedly with that peculiar expression on his face. There was no expression. There was no expression on the face. He was just glancing Della. Della wriggled off the table and went for him. Immediately she pushed the table and then went towards him. Jim, darling, she cried, don't look at me that way. So immediately she pushed the table, she turned the table and went towards him and said, Jim, darling, she cried, don't look at me that way. Please don't see in that way. In earlier, I said she was scared of what do you call, by selling what do you call, the hairs which were liked by Jim, and don't know what will be the reaction when Jim gonna know that she doesn't have the hair. She cut off the hair and sold it. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. I had my hair cut off and sold it because I could not have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. Don't look at me in that way. I'm terrified. There's not, I am unable to read anything in your eyes. You are glancing at me, you are seeing in that way. I'm scared. Please don't look at me in that way. I have cut my hair and sold it because I could not be living throughout the day, complete day, without presenting a gift. It will grow out again. You won't mind, will you? I just had to do it. My hair grows awfully fast. Don't mind that I have cut my hair and sold it. Don't mind. And my hair's gonna grow awfully very fast. My hair's gonna grow. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I have got for you. Then she wanted to change him. She said that I have cut my hair and sold it. Don't see in that way. And I can't be alive without presenting a gift to you on Christmas. And she's changing the idea of Jim, that my hair is gonna grow awfully very fast. My hair is gonna grow very fast. It will grow very soon and come in and be in a same position within no time. And she says, say Merry Christmas, let's enjoy, let's be happy, let's forget all those things. Okay. And she tells, you don't know what a beautiful gift I bought for you. Let's enjoy this day time. Let's enjoy. Don't why what do we call, Why to remember all those things? Let's enjoy this time. It's gonna grow. Don't think about that hair. And you know, I bought a very beautiful gift. Did you understand, beta? She wants to change the situation of Jim. Understood? You have cut off your hair? Asked Jim laboriously, as if he had not arrived at that patent fact yet, even after the hardest mental labor. So, so Della wants to bring him out from that situation, but he has not seen that one. And with a doubtful way, you have cut off your hair. Cut it off and sold it, said Della. Don't you like me just as well, anyhow? I am me without my hair, aren't I? So she says, yes, I have cut off my hair and sold it. I am your Della. Without hair also, I am your Della. Am I not your girl? Jim looked about the room curiously. You say your hair is gone, he said, with an air almost of idiocy. Foolishness. With completely foolishness, what a thing you have done. You say your hair is gone. And he's thinking, okay, he's thinking that it should not be true. Let's move to the next slide. You need not look for it, said Della. It's sold. I tell you, sold and gone too. He was just looking around the room when Della said that I have cut my hair. Maybe she has put somewhere in the room. And she says, don't look either and thither. It is not here. I have sold it that. I sold it and it is gone. It's Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you. I have sold the hair to bring a present for you. The purpose was to bring a present for you. It went for that thing. Maybe the hairs of my head were numbered, she went on with sudden serious sweetness. But nobody could ever count my love for you. Maybe we could count the hairs, how many hairs I have lost. Maybe we can count those. But I can't. By my love cannot be measured towards you. It cannot be counted. Shall I put the chops on, Jim? She wants Della wants Jim to forget all those things, and she just wants him to be happy because it is Christmas Eve. Understood, beta? Okay. Out of his trance, Jim seemed quickly to wake. He enfolded his Della. For 10 seconds, let us regard with discreet scrutiny some inconsequential object in the other direction. $8 a week or a million a year. What is the difference? A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer. The Magi brought valuable gifts, but that was not among them. This dark assertion will be eliminated later on. You know, he says he woke up from the trance. He was completely in the trance. He was shocked that Della had sold her haircut and sold her a hair. Immediately enfolded Della. And then the author says $8 a week or a million a year. A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer, but the Magi brought valuable gifts, but that were not among them. You're gonna know it later, because the gift bought by, we know the gift bought by Della. She bought a fob chain made of platinum, but what the gift bought by Jim is not unwrapped. Now we're gonna know. This dark assertion will be eliminated later on. We're gonna know. There's a question mark here. Why he has given the statement, the Magi brought valuable gifts, but that was not among them. You're gonna know it in later slides. Understood, beta? Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. Don't make any mistake, Dal, he said, about me. I don't think there's anything in the way of a haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. Okay? By cutting the hair or making shampoo or shaving, My girl is my girl itself. But you will see, unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first. When you unwrap that package, what I have bought for you, you're gonna know why I was very curious about your hair. Understood? So now you're gonna learn. But if you will unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first. You're gonna understand my love. First, unwrap that packet. White fingers and nimble tore at the string and paper, and then an ecstatic scream of joy, and then, alas, a quick feminine change to hysterical tears and wails, necessitating the immediate employment of all the confronting powers of the lord of the flat. Then she unwrapped that, what do we call, the package which was bought by Jim. There was a scream of joy, some ecstatic scream, means laugh out of tears, and then hysterical tears and wails, pain, tears which come by anger, pain, grief, that is known as wail. So when she unwrapped, first she laughed at all by seeing that all, and then again she started crying. Why did she cry? By unwrapping that package, you're gonna learn in the next slide. For there lay the combs, the set of combs side and back that Della had worshipped long in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell with the jeweled rims, just the shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair. So when she unwrapped the package brought by Jim, they were all the combs, all the clips which gonna make look very beautiful the hair of Della. For that sake, when she unwrapped, there was an ecstatic smile on the face, and then hysterical tears, because the gift which was bought by Jim is of not use at present. I don't say that they can be used in the later time, but at present those clips, those combs are of no use. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. And now they were hers, but the tresses that should have adorned the coveted adornments were gone. Okay, the expensive combs, when she wanted to buy, when her hair was very long and she wanted to buy those combs, they were very expensive. Those combs were very expensive, they were very costly, and she wanted to buy those to make her hair beautiful, look beautiful. But now when combs are hers, now when the combs became hers, now she says the tresses, for what the combs are useful, were gone. Understood, beta? So why in the earlier slide we learned that it is going to be eliminated later. Okay, why did we read that one? This dark accession will be eliminated later on. So this is elimination, beta. This dark accession means she has sold, what do we call, hair, to buy a beautiful present to Jim. And what did she bring? She bought a fob chain made of platinum. And here Jim bought the combs. How did he bring that combs? Because they are very costly. Okay, how did he bring? Let's know. But she hugged them to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and a smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." And then Della leaped up like a little singed cat and cried, "Ho ho!" Jim had not seen yet his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. The dull, precious metal seemed to flash with a reflection of her bright and ardent spirit. Okay, my hair is gonna grow. Don't get what do we call, worried. My hair is gonna grow, and I said it grows very fast, awfully, very awfully. It grows fast, and in future I'm gonna use this, what do we call, combs. And he said, and then she says, you have not seen the beautiful gift, the beautiful present what I bought for you. She holds in the palm. Isn't it? Is not it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You will have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it. When she opens the palm and when she shows that I bought a fob of chain made up of platinum, she says it's very good. It's very beautiful present for you. Now you can see time 100 times by lifting the what do you call by lifting the hand. Come on, give me your watch and I want to see how it looks. Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. He didn't give the watch and just he smiled. Dell, said he, let's put our Christmas presents away and keep them a while. They are too nice to use just at present. I sold the watch to get the money to buy you combs, and now suppose you put the chops on. Did you understand, beta? What did he do? Jim sold watch, the dial of the watch, which he feels possession, which he feels that it is his, sold to buy combs for her Della. And what did Della do? She has sold the hair and bought a beautiful present to Jim. Understood? So what the present bought by Della to Jim is just as a present. The what do we call, the present bought by Jim at present is only a present. And he says, just let us keep it aside. Let's enjoy the chops because it is Christmas Eve. Do you understand, beta? The Magi, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men, who brought gifts to the babe in the manger. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication. And as I said in the earlier class, of those three wise men who bought gifts, who presented gifts to the babe in the manger. Okay, so here also the gifts given by Jim to Della and Della to Jim were very wise. They were only presents at present. Understood, beta? And this happened from that time, the exchange of presentations, the exchange of love on the Christmas day. Understood? And here I have lamely related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flat who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their house. In the starting itself, I said the two possessive things Jim had. One is the hair of Della and the watch. They have lost those two. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that all who give gifts these two were the wisest. Of all who give and receive gifts, such as they are wisest. Everywhere they are wisest. They are the Magi. Did you understand, beta? They have lost their what do we call the possession? This one, but they have presented the gift to each other. So they are two foolish children. They did some folly things by Della selling the hair, cutting the hair and selling it, and Jim selling the watch. But the exchange of gifts were wise. Those two people were also wise. So they were called as Magi. Understood, beta? Is it clear, the gift of Magi? Here, let's talk in the what do we call, know the theme, why the author has written. O. Henry begins the story with an objective expository statement to show the protagonist monetary problems and to set a storytelling tone. Here, the monetary problems are shown. Throughout the story, look for instances where the third person narrator does not advance the narrative with a conversational sentence. Rather, he uses these instances to enhance the feeling of that reader he is being told a sort of Christmas story. Did you understand, beta? And the Magi referred to here and in the title are the three wise men that play a part in the nativity story in the Bible. In the story, the Magi travel hundreds of miles to be there when Jesus is born. Jesus is born. The Magi each brought a different gift: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. This is where the tradition of gift giving on Christmas comes from. So, from that time, the tradition started giving gifts on the Christmas day. Understood, beta? The theme of the story is that unconditional love knows no boundaries. Understood, beta? The theme of the story is that unconditional love knows no boundaries. The gifts that Jim and Della give to one another end up having no useful function. At present, they are no useful because Jim bought what do we call the combs, which she cannot be used now because she doesn't have the hair. And Della bought a fob of chain made of platinum. It is not useful now because uh, Jim had sold the watch. Okay, but the gift that Jim and Della give to one another end up having no useful function, but they are the most valuable gifts for either of them to have given because the gift symbolize the sacrifices they are willing to make for their love for one another. Did you understand, beta? What's the theme of the love? It's an unconditional theme of the story. It's unconditional love, and he says it knows no boundaries. At present, the gifts given by Jim and Della doesn't have any useful function, but the gift symbolizes the sacrifices they are willing to make for their love for one another. That shows the sacrifice. They made a very important, very daring sacrifice. One sold the hair and the other sold the watch. And in the starting of the class itself, when Jim was introduced, he said, the two things, I have a possession on two things. One is the hair of Della and the watch given by my grandfather. So both are sold. At present, they are not there with them, but the love in between these two has no boundaries. Okay. Thank you for listening my class, dears. Okay. Thank you, dears.